So I want to record a video upon the I want to say, like, again, like, my mom is responsible for Jennifer Pan. All she had to do was talk to her. All she had to do was, just understand, like, oh, is this where you work? Is this where you live? Is this where you engage? And like, all she had to do was talk to her, because she didn't know what she was doing. She because the thing is, like, you have to manually, like, with the system, you'd have to manually like turn these things over. You need to manually, like, talk to the person, manually, talking to the person, manually uh manually especially in pharmacology, right? So my mom's a chemical engineer and this person's a pharmacology student. Like, obviously they can help him out, and they should have helped him out. My mom, that is. And that's why it's my responsibility, because I messed up there. And, like, all it took is my mom just being concerned about the person. I get it, like, everyone thinks that the person is wanting something out of the end of the day, but, like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like, at the end of the day, the person wanted something or didn't. And it is late in the game, 2026. These videos they don't change the final outcome. Like, they don't change the final result of the society and where it's gotten to this point. Like the computer games, they can tell you one thing. I can't rationally, like, do this. It's very hard to do this real life thing. Because I don't even know what the response is. I don't know, like, what the best way to respond would be. Because, like, the situation has changed very much and very rapidly, and, like, and obviously I try to be objective, and I know the job that my mom does is not easy, where she the job that she does is not easy, where she has to, like, she was a researcher, so she wasn't like the professor. So obviously it could have been the professor's fault. It could have been Jennifer Pan's fault. I think there's a transit issue. Like, I would never be able to access the downtown core from where my mom lives. I mean, that as in, like, I wouldn't be able to access, like, the downtown core, like, from the Richmond Hill area, right? So, like, I wouldn't be able to access it. So I would have never, like, I wouldn't be able to access it. So, I mean, the same thing goes for Dean Witcher. Like, I don't know about much about him. I mean, his name is his name, and it doesn't indicate too much either. I know these videos, they don't change the scenario, they don't change the final outcome of all of this. I never intended it for it to be this way. And it is a psychological thing of, like, psychological thing where, you could take these things psychologically, and, unfortunately what the result is what the result is. Psychologically, the result is whatever it is. But I don't want people to take me that way. I don't want people to, like, to to interpret the things I say this way, the things I do this way. And I strongly encourage people who like watch my videos to always reach out for help, like because mental health issues, i people don't know they have them until they do, or they don't know like what the problems in their life are until they look back and realize, and then they understand that they're at a total deficit. Like they never have enough time, they never have enough money, they never have enough energy. I've lost my emotions, I lost a lot of time and energy. um and I mean, like, I feel horrible about it. I don't like, I feel horrible for certain people and certain things. I mean, you could take this all as death by a thousand cuts, that that at some point, um it doesn't make much sense. It, like, you think about like the whole scenario, it doesn't make much sense. Like, I didn't start off this way. Like uh like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it seems like like only a machine or a person like multiple heads or arms would be able to deal with this. And I think that is what we're dealing with here at the end of the day. That there is some, I mean, human consciousness is one thing, but there is some artificial, or like cybernetic, because now it's like 2026 cybernetic force. um and I mean, you can interpret all human beings as a threat or no human beings as a threat. I'm really regurgitating just what the movies and the shows kind of said. I think it's all kind of common sense when it's all said and done. Like, it doesn't need to be like regurgitated and rethought of. And I mean, like the whole thing is like, you need to look at like how natural the problem is. How natural the problem is. Like, I mean, because the thing is, like, you can't, like, you could play computer, like, so everything you touch really realistically is cursed, and there's a cost that you don't see but you incur it. And including these words that I say. And like, obviously I'm just trying to answer for myself. Because people, someone's gonna demand an answer, someone's gonna demand like a reason. And the answer is there is no reason. And like, a lot of these things just happen by chance. um I personally, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying with these videos. I'm trying with very, very mature perspective, with like using the using everything I've known before, during, after. And like psychologically, there, because the thing is, the helpline even doesn't really have that much help. Like, yeah, you can talk to someone, but like psychologically, like psychologically, it's an uphill battle. You're not, um like, thing is, like, maybe in this dimension, maybe in this planet, this is the way things are. In a different plane of existence, it's entirely different, with different rules, different concepts, different concepts of good and evil. Good and evil nowadays, and then what it was. And like, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's like, it's obviously getting ugly out there. But um I don't have an answer, because I didn't give one to people. I don't communicate with other people. Somehow everything ends up where like everyone's like kind of divided, or like isolated, or they isolate themselves. um I mean, perhaps like it didn't start here. It started, the moment man decided to like work. But like, like, again, like, I didn't know things would come to this. Like, I didn't see it coming to this. um and I mean, whether it's a free for all and like everybody says and does whatever they want to do, or they don't, I can't pass judgment, right? Like, um I mean, I can't tell people what to do. I can't judge them like based upon like, oh, progressiveness and video games are all bad. But then at the same time, you like kind of realize like, um, like if the modern world did produce something, maybe that's like a good thing that it produced. And honestly, a lot of people, they wouldn't take things too seriously. They wouldn't take what I'm saying too seriously. They wouldn't take the real world too seriously. And I guess that's maybe the problem. But and that's why like even like like watching movies and thinking deeper. Like as a child, obviously I didn't do that. It's way more difficult. But also because everything's simultaneously happening to me at once. Like um, on the one hand, I'm like, I'm going to school, uh, showing up every single day, whatever, going to school, or going to my mom's job, downtown, dealing with, some heavy biochemistry, proteins, and all this stuff. And on the other hand, like, you're dealing with, like, um, you know, complicated bureaucracy and paperwork and arguing over like little things. I mean, that's what my existence is defined by. And I mean, I predict my life. Like I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know what I'll be doing for the next 50, 60 years. I don't even know what I would be doing. I don't enjoy sitting in my room, for longer than an hour or two. And I don't really enjoy anything really now. Like I don't, because, like you look at it and, look at the modern world as like a, just, dopamine scrolling, and you realize that the criminals are right all along. And the only thing that would happen really is a binary result where you'll have the people who stab and argue, and then you'll have the ones that we call them NPC droids. Like, they're kind of like laborers. And obviously this is me like putting it to like very childish terms. And at the point that I'm making these videos, like, I don't know, it's going to take something more than human. It's going to take something more or less than human. It's going to take some kind of like psychological, like entirely different reality that you live in. Like you'd have to like mentally be somewhere else. I don't know what else to say. I mean, like I have drugs to do that. But like, I don't know. People can use all sorts of drugs to try to manipulate the situation if that's what they wanted. But the reality of 2026 is what the reality is, at least logically speaking. I mean, I, like many other people, are responsible for this. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You can't go back into the past. I mean, those computer games that I played, like Sims and all that,